Owen Abbas Hussein here from FightHype.com, and I'm here with a WBA super lightweight champion, Regis Prograis. Regis, firstly, welcome to the UK. I've seen stuff on the internet where the UK fans have embraced you. Talk to me about your little time here in the UK so far.
I mean, so far, man, everything been cool, man. We've been sightseeing. Actually, just came from the Churchill, the War Room Churchill Museum. That was definitely awesome to be in. Went to Buckingham's Palace. Just a lot of sightseeing, doing things like that, meeting a lot of people. Yesterday, not even yesterday, just the whole time I've been here, just meeting a lot of real good people to be around. And I'm just, fully embracing the UK. And it felt like they fully embracing me.
How important is it to come a couple of weeks before to acclimatise to the weather, to acclimatise to the time and everything else? We know a lot of fighters who have gone away and maybe left it too late, and you see that they've come up with a loss. How important is it to come a couple of weeks beforehand?
It's very important, to be honest, because even for me, just the time difference was, it really messed me up. Probably like the first 5-6 days, it really just kind of messed me up. So I was just sleeping, because I live in LA, so it's an 8-hour time difference. Yeah, that's a big difference. By the time, it's time to sleep, it's over here, it's time to be up, and of course, vice versa. And so for me, like I said, just, doing time difference, the weather, the food, the people, the culture, just, come over here, just really get used to everything. And that's why I came over here 3 weeks early, and show my seriousness about this fight.
Regis, before I go into the fight, I want to talk to you about something serious. Some sad news broke out last night where a fighter, Patrick Day, passed away after suffering injuries on Saturday night. Just give me your thoughts on that. I know, the whole of the boxing community feels very sad by this news, but just give me your thoughts on that.
First off, Patrick Day just seemed like, I didn't know him personally, but of course I met him. Probably like a couple of fights ago, I met him. And he just seemed like a real cool dude, always smiling, just a real friendly and just a good type of person, But it's definitely sad, man. In this boxing game, they always say like you can't play boxing, and it's serious, And even if you could prepare fully, and you can't never take no shortcuts in boxing. But even if you do everything right, I'm pretty sure he did everything right, and something like that still can happen. It just show you like how dangerous the game is, And of course they have different precautions and stuff you can take to ensure that you kind of be healthy and stuff. But it's still, man, it just show you like how brutal this sport is. It really is a very brutal sport. It's another man hitting another man in the head, punching another man. And the goal in boxing is not like football. It's not like no other sport to where the goal is to hurt your opponent. That's the goal of boxing, to hurt your opponent. So it's just sad. Really, I'm just at a loss for words because how sad this is. And like I said, even not even just him, but it been happening. Lately it's been happening. It's I forgot how many fighters. Even of course, like I've been reading a lot about fighters' deaths in the ring and stuff. It's kind of, you don't want to say it's a normal thing, but it's kind of it been occurring like a lot lately. It just shows you how dangerous the sport is, man. It's like you can't play with it, but it's just sad. It's very sad.
Obviously, thoughts go out to his family, from yourself, and from Team FightHype as well. Let's talk about why you're here. Josh Taylor, big unification clash. Also the final of the World Boxing Super Series, so it adds that extra incentive, which is a predominantly new competition. Talk to me about Josh Taylor. Do you feel like he's faced anyone to your level? We know he faced Victor Postol a couple of fights ago, but do you feel that he's faced somebody to the level of Regis Prograis?
No, I don't think so. And to be honest, I don't think that, I never faced nobody of his level. He's never faced nobody at my level, That's why I think this fight is so intriguing, because he's never fought no competition like me, and I never fought no competition like him before. So, like I said, that's why this fight is going to be, it's going to be huge, probably going to be one of the fights of the year. But, yeah, I don't think he's fought nobody like me before. He's fought good fighters and champions, ex-champions, but as far as like my caliber, like the things that I can do in the ring, he's never fought nobody like me before. He's never seen nobody like me before, period.
You watch a lot of boxing. I've seen you on FightHype, especially our channel. We've covered you a lot. You talk about fighters in depth. I've seen a lot of times where you've talked about fighters in depth. I'm sure you've studied Josh Taylor. What do you see in him that, you know?
I didn't really study him too much, man. I'm a historian of the game, so like I like to study like the older fights and, you know, the greats, the greats of my sport, basically. So I really didn't study too much, but of course I seen the fight. You know, I've been to his fights, and I seen a couple of his fights. I was there watching when he fought Postal, you know, for the first time. You know, basically live when he fought Postal. I was watching that. But I mean, the main thing I see that him. And he has 15 fights, and all 15 fights he looked the same to me. You know, he don't get me wrong, he's good, and it all worked for him. But I feel like, you know, all his fights, they all look the same. If you take, you know, 10 of my fights, most of them, they all look different. I always do different things. I always adapt different to, you know, to the fight that's in front of me. You know, so that's kind of the main thing I see about him, is that like he looks the same. He does a lot of the same things, which is, you know, is good. It has been working for him, but I just don't feel like, you know, he's fought nobody, you know, like me, and is going to be prepared to handle what I can bring to him.
I want to ask you about the World Boxing Super Series. When the cruiserweights fought last year, we had all 4 champions in there. This year, we don't have Jose Ramirez. We know Jose Ramirez holds 2 of the belts now, WBC, WBO. How much of a shame was that to sort of know that even if you win this competition, you've not like gone through that pathway, you fought the champions?
I mean, I still think, you know, the winner, I always still thought, even with, you know, when we entered into the tournament, you know, it was 4 belts out. It was 2 in, 2 out, you know, and you know, even it was Ramirez and Hooker that had the belts, and even with the belts being out, I still felt like, you know, those 2 belts being out, I still felt like the person that wins this tournament is the king at 140. You know, of course, Ramirez has the other 2 belts, but I just don't see him being on the same level as me and Josh Taylor. You know, even after this fight, I still, you know, I think my opinion still won't change about, you know, Ramirez. I think he's a good fighter, but I still think he's number 3 in the world at 140, even though he has 2 of the belts, you know. So, yeah, my opinion still doesn't change, but, you know, eventually that's his path, this is our path. Then eventually after this tournament, then, you know, if I get the opportunity to fight him, then, you know, it'll come about, and that's what'll happen.
I want to speak to you about the other WBA title, the regular title. There was a fight on the undercard of Spence Porter between Marius Barrios and Ahmedov. Talk to me about the fight. A lot of people saw that as a controversial decision where Mario Barrios won the fight. Talk to me about that.
I mean, it could have went either way, man. I actually thought he really lost that fight, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, that's on him, man. I don't even want to really comment on that too much, man. But it wasn't, you know, it was a close fight. He could have lost. He could have won. I gave the decision to the other dude, but it is what it is.
Just away from your division, I want to talk about Errol Spence Jr. being involved in a car crash. He seems to be fine. Just give me your thoughts on, you know, the situation with Errol Spence, and, you know, what sort of implications are when somebody goes through this as a fighter.
I mean, you know, that was horrible, man. But first off, you know, I'm glad that he's okay. You know, hopefully it comes out that he's still the same fighter. You know, because something like that, it could, you know, even though he's okay and stuff like that, you never know what's going to happen in his boxing career. But the main thing is that, you know, he's still living, he's okay. I heard that he didn't break no bones, just some teeth or something like that. So I mean, and I saw he put on, you know, Instagram or something, he just a different type of animal. You know, he survived that. And I saw, you know, I know most people saw, you know, the crash, and, you know, his car flipped over and stuff like that. So I mean, the main thing is, you know, aside from boxing, man, this dude is alive. This dude is still living. Even if he never comes back to boxing again, he's living. You know, and that's the main thing. He has family. I know he has 2 daughters. The main thing is you living, you know, and you're healthy, and that's the main thing. So I'm glad that, you know, he's good.
I just want to sort of go to the 147-pound division, because there's a good possibility that after this, I mean, a couple of fights, you could be moving up, and them fighters in there, they don't look like they're going to be moving up, so there's a good chance that you could be facing these guys. At the moment, the talk of the town is obviously Errol Spence. As long as he gets better and whatever happens with him in regards to this car crash, fights Terence Crawford. Just give me your thoughts on that fight, going off the performance of Errol Spence from the last fight, and what you see of Terence Crawford as well.
I mean, I think Terence Crawford is, you know, he's a great fighter. You know, so before going into that fight, before Errol Spence and Sean Porter fought, I kind of always edged Errol Spence. And now my opinion is changed a little bit. I wouldn't say Crawford will beat Errol Spence, but I can't just say Errol Spence will beat Crawford now. You know, it'll be kind of a toss up, man. Because I always said this from the get go. I think both of them, they have the styles to make fights, of course, and I think both of them have the styles that can beat each other. You know, I think Crawford has the style that can beat Spence, and I think Spence has the style that can beat Crawford. You know, so that'll be, you know, it'll be one hell of a fight. You know, I think it'll be a good fight. But who I edge now, I don't know. After the Sean Porter fight, Sean Porter really pushed him. It looked like Sean Porter really pushed him, and I think, you know, we all know Crawford has a different style. Crawford can do all that stuff, but, you know, he has a different style. So I think, you know, he could potentially give Errol troubles, but at the same time, Errol's big, he's strong, he could potentially give Bud trouble. So it'll be one hell of a fight, and they need to make it.
Fighting in that division that's making a name for itself is Virgil Ortiz Jr. 13 wins, 13 knockouts. There's a lot of talk, a lot of hype about him. What do you make of him as a fighter? Have you got to see him much?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I seen him. You know, he knocking everybody out, man. Look like strong little dude, man. Look like he real strong. And I mean, I can't wait to see what the future's like for him. You know, I saw he's just putting people to sleep. He's knocking everybody out. Good, you know, real good fight. I met him. We actually met. You know, I live in LA now, so we met. They had a boxing show out there, and he was there, and so we met. We talked and stuff. I said, man, just keep doing your thing. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. He knocked everybody out. So, real good fighter.
Just want to ask you about a couple of fights that are coming up. Just quick predictions on how you see them going. First of all, Anthony Joshua's flying out to Saudi Arabia, trying to get his belts back from Andy Ruiz Jr. in December. Talk to me about that fight. How do you see the rematch playing out?
Oh man, I don't know, man. You know, I went to the fight with him and Ruiz in New York, and it just looked like he wasn't worried about it. You know, he looked like he was so relaxed. He was just sitting on the ring ropes like this. You know, Ruiz was bouncing around, getting ready, and he was just sitting there like he just wasn't, like, he just took him lightly, basically. But at the same time, saying that, I don't want to take nothing away from Ruiz. You know, so. I don't know, man. It depends on if he took him lightly, but I know this time he won't be taking him lightly. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I might think that Andy Ruiz has the style that can just always give him troubles. So that'll be a good fight. For me, that'll be a good fight too. But I can't really pick a winner, man, because I'm kind of torn between both of them. I'm kind of torn between both of them. If Ruiz just has the style that can give him troubles, or if Anthony Joshua just didn't take him lightly, which I know this time, if he did take him lightly the first time, he won't take him lightly this time. Another
fight is Canelo going up to 175 pounds and facing somebody who's well established in that division, Sergey Kovalev. Talk to me about that fight.
And Canelo, I got Canelo, man. Canelo, for me, Canelo number one pound for pound in my eyes right now. Canelo is the best fighter in the world in my eyes. You know, you just look at his ring resume, look at the people he's fought. You know, I still got Canelo. And one thing about Kovalev, he doesn't like body shots, and Canelo is a hell of a body puncher. So, you know, even though he has the height advantage on him, I don't think that'll mean nothing when it comes to those body shots. So I got Canelo for sure.
And just finally, there's a fight this Friday. I'm not sure how much you've seen of the light heavyweights, but there's a unification clash this Friday between Artur Beterbiev and Alexander Vosdik. Have you sort of seen? No, that's fine. Regis, I know you've got to do your workout, so I know you've got to go, but thank you very much once again for giving FightHype your time. I appreciate that, brother.
Thank you. No problem.